Alright, I'm back. And it's important that you notice on YouTube in the bottom right hand corner I have a lion. That's very important for the memetic warfare, the psyop. So let's get started. First of all, most people don't even know what a psyop is, so I have to explain what a psyop is. What are memetics? Memetic warfare, psychological operations, and plausible deniability. This document explains what memetic warfare and psychological operations, psyops, are, how they function in modern information environments, and why they persist through plausible deniability rather than secrecy or explicit coordination, although both can happen. This is a systemic explanation. Memetic warfare is a strategic shaping of perception through the spread of memes. So, one instance of memetic warfare is the Charlie Kirk shooter. So, memetics do have a tie to actual, terrorism. The Charlie Kirk shooter used memetics, and he was a terrorist. So, it's generally good to not participate in something that threatens the lives of other people, because if something does happen, then it can be traced back to you if they've documented it. A meme is not just an image or joke. A meme is an idea, a frame, a phrase, a symbolic association. Memes replicate through attention, emotional resonance, and social reinforcement. Think the big lie, repeating a lie enough times until it becomes the truth. That's what memetics is. Memetics is spreading a lie, disinformation, until enough people believe it, and then the truth just ceases to exist. They do not require truth to spread. They require repeatability. Memetic warfare occurs when certain ideas are preferentially applied. Competing interpretations are suppressed or ridiculed. The information environment becomes asymmetrically tilted. So, competing interpretations are suppressed or ridiculed. That's basically like saying, oh, you're crazy, you're just imagining it, you're just making it up. That's a part of the psyop. That's part of the plausible deniability is baked in, right? Psychological operation is any coordinated or emergent process that influences beliefs, emotional responses, decision making, and social norms. PSYOPs do not require a centralized controller, although there is one. That would be OmniQuery, which I'll get into in a bit. So OmniQuery is the one that started the Nobody PSYOP. Modern PSYOPs are often distributed, algorithmically amplified, and performed unconsciously by participants. A PSYOP can exist without anyone believing they are running one. So, Dead Domain, for instance, Dead Domain was used in this PSYOP when I was hacked, and I've already documented that. It's in the link in the description. So, Dead Domain was used as a mouthpiece for actual Nazis, for Synthetic Boy, who is a self-proclaimed Nazi incel. The shift from classical to modern psyops. The classical model, outdated assumption. Secret planners, explicit intent, and top-down messaging and clear attribution. Modern model, observed reality. Incentive-driven systems, monetized harassment. Platform algorithms, like what this guy's doing right here, this tiger guy. Cultural feedback loops, no single author and no clear origin. So a part of the psyop, like this guy is a part of the psyop. He says nobody knows who the nobody is, and that's a flat out lie. That's for plausible deniability. And you see they spread this plausible deniability all over the place using 4chan, Reddit, basically every platform you can imagine. They spread the memetic warfare. And, okay, so the shift is why many people incorrectly conclude there is no proof of coordination, nothing is happening. This conclusion is false. Memetic systems operate in layers, not just events. An idea, framing, or phrase is introduced, the nobody, often via humor, irony, or just asking questions. It's low risk, low commitment entry point. Amplification. The idea spreads through repetition. Algorithms reward engagement, not accuracy. Emotional triggers increase visibility. So, intentionally causing emotional reactions and then taking ripping that content and then like sharing it in a way that you monetize off of it. So monetized harassment is basically what memetics is. It's like monetized harassment. So like people are making money off of spreading the psyop, this disinformation campaign. The idea becomes normalization. The idea becomes familiar. Familiarity reduces resistance, and the origin becomes irrelevant or forgotten. Multiple readings are possible. Interpretive ambiguity. A joke, satire, coincidence, criticism. This ambiguity is structural protection. Behavioral drift. Beliefs shift gradually. Discourse norms change. Emotional baselines recalibrate. No single moment appears decisive. Plausible deniability, the structural shield. Plausible deniability is not a lie. It is a design feature of influence systems. Plausible deniability exists when no single action proves intent. Each component is defensible in isolation. Responsibility is diffused across time and actors. So what does this mean? Each component is defensible in isolation. That means if I just point to one instance, it's not going to make sense. It's correlative. So it's compounding, it's a pattern, right? Memetics is a pattern. Modern influence systems do not hide intent, they dissolve it. Why plausible deniability works. Fragmentation. Each participant only sees their own action. No one experiences the full system. Irony and humor. Irony allows commitment without accountability. Humor deflects critique. It's just a joke. You're reading too much into it. Platforms amplify patterns, not intentions. Outcomes appear emergent, not engineered, which they are. So, memetic warfare is basically like, what do you call it? Social engineering. People propagate ideas they don't fully endorse. Sharing does not equals belief, but sharing still spreads belief. So you may not believe something that the psyop is perpetuating, but you're still doing the thing. Like Thought Slime is an example. Like Thought Slime is a perfect example. He's repeated the nobody op. Like he said, boring caretake work that nobody cares about. He was talking about me, the nobody. Why traditional proof fails. Proof means documents, meetings, confessions. In modern reality, influence is probabilistic, not absolute. Evidence is pattern-based, not singular. So you have to look at the information in totality, which requires a lot of work. Relevant indicators include repetition across independent channels, convergent framing, asymmetric amplification, consistent incentive alignment, measurable downstream effects. Absence of a smoking gun does not imply absence of influence. Again, absence of a smoking gun does not imply absence of influence. Memetic warfare without central control. A critical misunderstanding is if no one planned it, it can't be warfare. But I can prove who planned it. That's OmniQuery. I have the 4chan archives. Correction. Warfare describes effects, not authorship. Systems can produce hostile outcomes without intent. Examples of drivers. Attention economies, which OmniQuery made a thread about on Reddit. Ideological incentives, status signaling, platform monetization, and group identity reinforcement. So group identity reinforcement comes in with the brown shirts, the Nazi brown shirts. What this guy used an image of. So this right here, you see with the hoodie, this is Nazi memetics. That would be these people right here that are on Reddit. They all use the same images, the same avatar icons, and they go on and then they spread the and disinformation, and then they've harassed me and mass false reported me so that I would get banned. They mass false reported me, so they deplatform. They strip the victim's ability to speak out against it. Memetic warfare raises ethical concerns because targets often cannot opt out. Consent is absent or impossible. I do not consent to have my identity stolen. Harm occurs without attribution. Accountability is structurally evaded. So this is what Thought Slime was talking about, making it impossible for the victim to retort or defend themselves, right? only do a cursory glance. That he's a part of the psyop that threatened the FBI. This creates an asymmetry. Those affected must prove harm. Those benefiting can deny intent. Understanding these systems is not about paranoia, it is about distinguishing observation from interpretation, recognizing framing effects, slowing emotional reaction, demanding evidentiary standards without naivety. The goal is epistemic resilience, not suspicion. Memetic warfare and psyops in modern era do not require secrecy, do not require coordination, do not require belief, although in today's date they are coordinated. They require repetition, incentives, ambiguity, and plausible deniability. Memetic warfare shapes what feels normal. Psyops shape how people interpret reality, and plausible deniability is what keeps both invisible. So, denaming. Plausible deniability and identity exploitation in modern influence systems. So this goes into the nobody op that this guy's taking a part of. So his name is Tiger123. If you notice the icon I have in my channel, it's a tiger or a lion. So that's memetics right there. They're targeting me by symbolic reference. So they're directly like taunting me basically. It is a form of harassment and stalking. Okay, so yeah, stripping someone's identity. So this document analyzes a specific influence pattern, sometimes referred to as a nobody framing, a process where an identifiable individual or group is discussed, referenced, or functionally targeted without being named, while still being broadly recognizable to the audience. So imagine you have only one person in the office that is wheelchair bound. If you're sitting there sharing memes behind their back about wheelchairs and you hear earshot people making wheelchair jokes, you know they're talking about you, right? They're referencing you just without naming, right? It it doesn't it doesn't make it impossible to prove, it just makes it more difficult and frustrating. Denaming as an influence mechanism. Denaming refers to the removal of a person's explicit name or identity marker while continuing to reference their work, their traits, their circumstances, their perceived role in a narrative. The audience often understands who is being referenced, but the absence of a name creates structural ambiguity. This is why he said nobody knows who the nobody is. He knows who the nobody is. He knows who I am. He's just lying and spreading disinformation to sow seeds of doubt. I can prove that they know who the nobody is, and I will. Key property, recognition without attribution. Plausible deniability emerges because no explicit claim is made, no name is spoken, and no direct reference exists to contest. This allows the speaker to say, I wasn't talking about anyone in particular, you're projecting, or that's a coincidence. Meanwhile, the audience may still correctly infer the referent, share the content with that influence intact, participate in discussion as if the referent were known. The system functions without requiring explicit acknowledgement. This pattern creates a dual state, social recognition. People know who is meant, and formal erasure. The person cannot point to a named reference. This asymmetry matters because recognition enables extraction, attention, narrative value, and symbolic use. This is exploitation, like this person right here is exploiting me. Like they are absolutely exploiting me. The individual becomes functionally present but formally absent. Once a person is denamed, their identity can be reframed, abstracted, symbolized, or used as an archetype. This allows incorporation into projects, commentary, or narratives, use of their circumstances as illustrative material, detachment from the material consequences for the person themselves, what this person's doing. The person's lived reality becomes content while their agency is minimized. This is the absolute definition of exploitation, and doing this to a disabled person is a form of eugenics. From the outside, objections often fail because there's no quote with a name, there's no single clip to point to, each instance appears defensible in isolation. From the inside, the individual experiences repeated indirect reference, loss of control over their narrative, inability to demonstrate harm without being accused of paranoia. This creates an epistemic trap. In digital economies, name recognition is currency. Removing a name while discussing the work, using the ideas, and referencing the circumstances can result in attention without compensation, influence without attribution, and narrative value without economic return. It's basically what happened to Nikola Tesla, right? They starved him. They committed a form of eugenics. This is essentially consequential, where visibility determines income, platforms reward amplification, and marginalized individuals rely on attribution to survive, right? So if you're stripping someone's ability to survive, you're killing them, right? That's no different than going into their house and stealing money from them. For disabled people, this pattern can be uniquely harmful because disability often already limits economic opportunity. Platform income may be one of the few viable options. Loss of attribution directly impacts survival. When a disabled person's identity is abstracted into a trope, a warning, or an unnamed example, they may lose the ability to monetize their own labor, control over how their disability is framed, access to audiences who would otherwise support them. The harm is not symbolic, it is material. Historically, systems that remove names have often done so to reduce agency, increase control, and prevent self-advocacy, right? Making it harder for the person to defend themselves. It's no different than walking up to a person, hitting them, and then running away really quickly, and you're like in a black hoodie, right? Naming enables response, denaming disables it. So if they name it, then they have to prove, right? If they don't name, then they don't have to prove harm, or that they don't have to defend themselves. The pattern matters regardless of scale or intent. Why intent is not required for harm. Harm can occur without malicious intent. See dead domain. Denaming systems can emerge from incentive structures, cultural norms, platform dynamics, and conflict avoidance. The outcome does not depend on conscious planning. Why this is not a conspiracy claim. This analysis does not require secret coordination, unified goals, or explicit target. It describes an emergent pattern. Recognizing denaming patterns allows observers to ask, who is being referenced but not named? Who benefits from the abstraction? Who loses the ability to respond or benefit? What changes if attribution is restored? These questions do not accuse, they clarify. When someone is recognizable but unnameable, power shifts away from the person and toward the narrative. Denaming preserves plausible deniability while enabling identity extraction, and its harms are magnified when the affected person relies on visibility for survival. So as you can see here, their thumbnail, Tiger123. Again, check out the thumbnail that I have in the bottom right hand corner of the video. It's lion/tiger. That's very important. That is a definite, absolute example of memetic warfare. So since he's using a tiger and talking about the nobody op, he's directly referencing me. This was also posted a year ago when the op started, which I'll get into the date. I think I might actually have that in here already posted.
It's unethical.
And this is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They use memetic warfare. So if you want a prime example of what memetic warfare is, and these Nazis that are doing this, check out Fillian's video in the description below. That's this video right here.
Of having inside jokes that are so fucked up to people who don't even understand them, and basically making fun of people to their face, right?
See, making fun of people to their face.
That's really what's fucked up, and it's more it's actually more, to me, that's the crime here. The crime isn't that they're Nazis and they're racist, which they might be, and I'm sure they are accelerationists who are people who are just basically nihilists who don't give a fuck and want to see the world burn. And to me, that's probably a worse thing than being anything, because you really are anti-human and you're selfish.
Exactly.
What if I told you that one of the most successful NFT collections in the world was pulling off the biggest troll in internet history? No, not convincing people that this ugly shit is art or that it has any value. What if I told you that hidden within Bored Ape Yacht Club was a series of 4chan trolling, racist imagery, and white supremacy dog whistles. And with a deep understanding of cipher and cryptography, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are making a mockery of the entire world, pulling the strings of the global elite, including celebrities, athletes, actors, and influencers. This story is extremely complicated for many reasons.
Look at this.
The problem with accepting the truth, this story elite yacht club
So to
with
give
a
some
mockery
validation, let's see. So look at this ape right here. This is a bored ape. This is a Nazi dog whistle. This is memetic warfare right here. This is memetic warfare. They use apes. See, right here. You see the ape? Remember that Kong died for your sins, and they used AI. So compare. Oh, if it'll let me. So compare. There, and then also, let's see, where did they stalked and hacked my family? So let's see, if you look at the pictures, isn't that exactly the same? That's exactly the same. So like they literally physically have stalked us. They have hacked our bank account and stolen money. There's mentions of Hollywood of me, just changing my name to my brother's name. It's like, you can't make this up. Like, there's so much evidence I have. Like, they physically stalked me from California to Texas. And this tiger guy is a part of it. And the whole Demiurge meme was started by this guy, deleted now, because I guess I reported them enough times until finally he got banned. Cards I make 'em. Port scan. Someone fucking port scanning me. Someone doesn't want me. Okay. Hacking. So here's like many attempts of trying to hack into my email. And we have our bank accounts hacked. I had to report that to the FBI. And then there's Thought Slime. So I made this post some time ago, 3 months before Thought Slime's video. And he literally directly quotes my Reddit post. Like, it is insane, like, how deep this goes. Like, there are, like, literally hundreds of thousands of people in it. And, see, this person is assigned with this group that's sending me death threats. This person is a part of this group. So they're responsible in turn, because they're perpetuating this memetic, saying that nobody knows who the nobody is, which is double speak. So the person that is the nobody knows who the nobody is, right? That's like saying Tim knows who Tim is, right? So yeah, the Bored Ape Yacht Club literally physically stalked me. You can't make this up. And you see how they have the Bubba Gump shrimp? That's memetics right there. That's memetics against the disabled. Against, you know, artards. Let's go back. So yeah, let's go back into this. See, compare the thumbnail, the nobody with the hoodies, and then you got a bunch of these hoodies that are spreading disinformation and harassing me on Reddit. They've also harassed entire groups because they've invaded vulnerable spaces like borderline personality disorder subreddit. They've made up that they have BPD and privilege brag about being rich. Like, that's how deep the memetics is. And then they do that to invoke an emotional reaction. And then when the emotional reaction happens, then they point to the emotional reaction and are like, oh, look how suspicious or whatever this is. Like, oh, he's just crazy, right? Because that's what's easy, right? That's like the average person. And right here you see he has it Imagine being the chosen one of 4chan. So that goes into Thought Slime. Let's see, I don't know where I have that picture. So Thought Slime literally posted on Blue Sky, I guess I am the chosen one. So it's all linked. So even Thought Slime is working for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. He's working for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. That's pretty significant. Someone that's supposedly an anti-fascist is doing the work of fascists for them. That's pretty big. See, I might have to look it up. I guess I'll play Filian's video until I can find the picture, just so I can show. Yeah, so it started around 10/26/24, around November 26, 2024. That's around the time this video was made. That's not a coincidence, that's called a pattern. And you see some of them only have 4 post karma, 200 karma. See, they're all like around November 4th, November 26th, November 4th. Yes, it's all tied. Like, these are essentially like terrorists. They're psychological terrorists. And they're actual terrorists because they threaten the FBI in the 4chan post, which I'll get to in a bit. Oh, let's see. I have the board. So here it is. So I did it. I sat down and wrote a short script without going down any rabbit holes. I am the chosen one. This is what he's referring to. So let's go back to, where was it? So this comment, which gave it away, and he hearted because he's, yep. Nobody knows who the nobody is, and imagine being the chosen one of 4chan. I am the chosen one. You see that it's all linked. It's all the deniable plausibility is baked into everything. So let's see, where should I go from here? Where should I go from here? I guess I'll start with where the ops started. The thread it started. Where's the 4chan death threats? Let's see, is it this one?
It's unethical, the practice of having inside jokes that are so fucked up to people who don't even understand them, and basically making fun of people to their face, right? To me, that's really what's fucked up, and it's it's actually more, to me, that's the crime here. The crime isn't that they're Nazis and they're racist, which they might be, and I'm sure they are accelerationists who are people who are just basically nihilists who don't give a fuck. And
where's this playing at?
It's unethical, to me, that's probably a worse thing than being
oh god, where is this still playing at?
Anti-human and you're selfish.
What if I told you that one of the most successful NFT collections in the world was pulling off the biggest troll in internet history? No, not convincing.
Okay, it was in that tab? I didn't even see it playing. That's crazy. Okay, so I need to find the death threats. Death threat censored. Oh wait, what? Okay, let me find it. See, maybe I can find like what am I looking for again? Death threats. No, I didn't. Let's see here. Let's just use search everything. Death document. 4chan. Let's see here if I can find it. Brown shirts. Board Ape Yacht Club attachments. So that would be death threats. Discordians. So this is in projects Board Ape Yacht Club attachments. Okay, so here they are. OP gaslighting, Nazi caricature, QR, Reddit, shirts. I got boring caretake work to deal with. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I found the 4chan thread on my Google Drive, and Google Drive literally tells what phase 1 is. So I have evidence, like I have evidence of like this starting. So let's studio mode, Brave. Right here. Alright, so this is see, the provided document is a transcript of an archive 4chan thread on the /x/paranormal board, which is a collection of posts and replies made on, that's not January 5th, 2025, that's a lot older, but, key themes and subjects discussed in the thread include Nobody General Operation. The original poster describes their phase 1 as learning to live homelessly on a bicycle. So this is literally how it started. So this bike is important. It's let me find, I gotta drag. Okay, let's see here. Attachments. Attachments, let's just make archives. Archives. View and explore. So I need to get rid of Brave now. Alright, so archives. And then I need to dump this. Attachments, archives. 4chan death threats censored. So I have a censored version here. Let's see, I need to add this to the I can attach a PDF in here, right? Yeah, okay, sweet. So sweet, I have the PDF in the canvas. That makes it a little bit easier. Mind mapping fucking Nazi fascism. Okay, so I have that, and let's see. Reddit, brown shirts, zombie slayer, Nazi hackers, slime, blue sky. Where did I put that PDF? Where did I put that? Discordian Bible cards. I make them omniquery. Simsane. I think it was it Simsane? No, it was the one of. So let's see, Simsane. Let's add that. Oh wait. Let's see here. Memetic warfare, Simsane. Add that there. And then let's see, I need to find omniquery. Attachments, Discordian, omniquery. Is it this one? Is it gonna work? Why is it blank? That's weird. Did he get corrupted or something? What the fuck? I should have backed it up. Yeah, it's blank. That is weird. What the fuck? Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see here. So if can I drag this here? It's not showing up in Obsidian, so I'm gonna have to show it in the browser. So let's see. So you have this image here with the bike. This is how I tied identities. So this bike right here, and then if I scroll down, did my files get corrupted? What the fuck? Let me see. I had it in fucking goddamn it. So let's see, Discordian OmniQuery. So, let's see, is it this one? No, it's not that one. So this is where he says, so this is a part of the psyop. He says, well, you asked for it. I did not ask to be a target and have my name and my identity stripped. That's part of the psyop. Time to summon a singularity of weirdness from the deepest bowels of the internet. From 4chan, of course. Sorry in advance, Ammon Mom. And then he posts a bunch of links. So maybe if can I click these links? Or is that a picture? That's a picture. Discordian. So that's OmniQuery. So I need to create a group. OmniQuery. So this was the start. So let's see here. Put that there. Why don't you crash on me now, Obsidian? The landscape of simulation, reflections on fictionality. Like, I'm saying, god damn it. Let's zoom out. There we go. So this is where he spread the op on the Discordian subreddit, where he's basically labeling me as like simulated sanity. So labeling me as psychotic, that way they can just say, oh, he's just crazy. So let's see, put that there. This is a Discordian Bible. And right here you can see that he uses AI quite a bit. He had a bunch of John Boulevard and this simulated revolutionary. So he has a lot of posts on AI that got deleted. So, and he's got these links, share GPT. So they use AI in their memetic warfare. They use Chat GPT for targeted harassment. Let's see here. Channel death threats. Here we are. Channel archive. Download. Let's see if I archives. Channel death threats. Maybe I should just open it in Firefox or Brave. Let's see this one. So this is the start of one of the starts of the psyop. It's time for phase 2, motherfuckers. Phase 1 was me learning to live homelessly on a bike. Phase 2 is taking it solar punk to the maximum with a 5-foot long flatbed trailer and 2 100-watt solar panels and this and that. And see, look, darling, a F word on a bicycle. See, these are actual Nazis. So this is the nobody, huh? See, this is what I'm talking about. See, there's right there. There's proof right there. This is the nobody, huh? Phase 3 is when it becomes a gang of solarpunk anarchist queers on bikes. Now, if I can find the archive where it shows the Reddit post, like it goes on quite a bit. It's literal like insanity. It is like psychotic. Like it is the most deranged people. Like they have death threats to the FBI. Let's see, bomb. So if I search bomb, we know about the patches and the pipe bombs. We have a map of your locations, and so they're literally talking about terrorism. So, like, that's what this guy Tiger is associated with. He's associated with a 4chan cult. He's perpetuating a 4chan cult that has threatened the FBI. So, if I Go Quantico. I'd love to dump a pound of fentanyl in the air vents at Quantico. It's pretty cheap on the dark net. Imagine being associated with actual terrorists. Like, that's pretty psychotic if you ask me. Like, associating yourself with a fucking psychological op that has threatened the FBI. And you see they have actual Nazis. See? Actual Nazis. An actual Nazi. A picture of an actual Nazi. And this is how they share all their information. So that's where he got his 10,000 views. He got the views from posting it on 4chan. Not found. Yeah, they deleted the original. See, they deleted the original, but I have the archive. I have the archive that proves it all, where they threaten the FBI. I mean, you can't get much more conclusive than that, right?
There's this legend in the deep.
So let's see. And so the nobody has changed identity. So after they successfully get someone to kill themselves, because that's what it is. It's a psyop to get me to kill myself, right? That's what all the death threats and everything are about. So after someone kills themselves, they move on to the next person, and then the next person becomes the nobody, and it just keeps going and going and going. That's why it's gone on for like 14 years or something like that. Like, I'm not the first person they've done this to. So if I, here's what's crazy. So I put the archives through Google Drive, and Google Drive literally tells me that it's cyber stalking and doxing campaign. AI literally tells me it's crazy. Like, so I did a summary of the 4chan files. The user is being targeted by a group of individuals across multiple online platforms. This includes doxing, defamation, and attempts to provoke real-world consequence. The harassers are impersonating the user and spreading false information about them in an attempt to manipulate others and damage their reputation. The user has received death threats and other violent messages. The harassers are also attempting to incite others to harass and harm the user. The user has reported the harassment to Reddit and other platforms, but has received little or no response, which is why I had to report it to the FBI. Logically so. Reasonably so. So even AI, if you put the files through AI, it'll literally tell you. AI will literally tell you it's a doxing and disinformation campaign to get me to like hurt myself. Real world consequences. Like, there are real world consequences, and they just want to act like it's a game. It's Nazi shit. Like, I can't imagine associating myself with like the worst parts of humanity imaginable. So this is where Thought Slime directly like basically stole my quote. He's referencing me. Historically, in almost every genocide, disabled people are the first to be targeted and dehumanized, seen as less than before other groups. This pattern is well documented from Nazi Germany's T4 program to the Khmer Rouge and beyond. Don't do their work for them. You're doing the work of the fascists trains people to think this way. That's exactly what Thought Slime is been doing. He's literally been training people on how to be a Nazi without realizing they're a Nazi. So right here, if we look at the death threat, that's a clip of the movie The Nobody. So this is memetic warfare. So the Springfield model, whatever musket slung around my back. Then they have a picture of me. They edited these weird glasses on me, which is memetic. I don't know what exactly it signifies other than maybe I'm a target. So anyone in these glasses is maybe like a target for 4chan. And it says kill yourself and then a eating emoji. So these people are literally death stalking me. And it says kill her, kill yourself, and they're talking about my mom because I'm a caretaker. I'm a disabled caretaker. And they even stalk underage. So the Discordians, these people, they also stalk underage trans kids. They stalked multiple people that are underage asking for pics. Definitely, you're so pretty. Hey, beautiful. And yeah, it's really disgusting. Like they literally stalk underage kids. It is absolutely batshit. And then you have a synthetic boy up, and then he's got the bored ape skull. He's got the bored ape skull right there. So he's definitely he's a big part of the psyop synthetic cuck. And how Discordians actively engage in stalking minors. And Discordia is a cult. They have a Bible that literally tells people to harass and stalk other people and to terrorize people. They literally have a Bible that gives you a guide on how to be a Nazi. It tells you exactly how to harass people. And it says even if the victim is innocent, that they will target them anyways because Discordians always work in a group like a cult. Let me find some more archives. All right, I'm back. Okay, let's see. So here's something from the Discordians. Fnord is something that's in the cult of Discordia. Gather a few willing people, no more than 3, including yourself. Target a random stranger, and in order over the course of the day, have each person bump into them and say the following: wake up, you're in a coma, this isn't real. After saying your phrase, walk away and pretend it never happened. This is what I'm talking about. This is psychological warfare, right? This is literally memetic warfare. And here's the brown shirts. So he's memeing about autism. See, I mean, I shy and skinny, so all the people who treat me like that, you're my ops. Like, it's... Oh my god. And then they invade borderline personality disorder. What is Photoshop? And then they're memeing about me using GPT, even though they use GPT for the psyop. Like, they use GPT. So as you can see, it's quite a high number of them. It's like we're talking tens of thousands of people at this point. And then you have this guy that started the doxing campaign. So I buy these 5 at a time rule of 5s and leave them around town with messages. So this is doxing. This is real world doxing right here. If I can find the archive. It looks like some of my files got corrupted or something. Okay, let's get back on track here. So I buy these 5 at a time. Let's see. Yo, what happened to my files? What the fuck? Well, it's a good thing I backed them up. Yeah, that is so weird. That is so weird that my files got corrupted. That is like suspicious as fuck. Okay, let's see here. Whiskey. It might, maybe it's in my public vault. Maybe that's what it is. So, right here we have a doxing campaign. I buy these 5 at a time rule of 5s and leave them around town with messages. Today's. Why is the fucking quality? Might have to open this in Brave. So let's see here. So I'll show you the IRL doxing. So this is what they're the cult of nobody or whatever, the nobody cult, whatever you want to call them, the Discordian cult. I buy these 5 at a time rule of 5s and leave them around town with messages today. And you see the missing teeth? That's because my teeth are bad, not through any fault of my own, by the way. And then he tells people to spread these books around town. So they've spread actual physical books in the real world around town with my name and telling people bullshit about me, disinformation about me. We hate oranges. That's because I had an orange mask on my avatar. Right there. So this is Memetics at work right here. This is Memetics. Little free libraries are great places to leave free books. Oh, I do that all the time. Iris would love to read your own testimony as any good Discordian. See, this is the cult. They worship this goddess called Iris, which is a goddess of chaos. Now, it doesn't matter if the chaos is unethical or moral, but actually it does. The chaos has to be unethical. The chaos has to cause harm to other people. Whoa. We track how many have been distributed by country. We're up to 700 now. They spread over 700 books about me, disinformation about me, targeted harassment. So right here I have, let's see. So this is a post I made on predictions confirmed, charitable actions versus right-wing rhetoric. For Cordians, Discordianism as organized hate group. So this is an alt-right extremist anti-equality trolls using intellectual judo and ethics, a Bible made by the alt-right. So, do I beat anyone with my trusty staff? And certainly never without their help on the subject of personal encounters with other Discordians. We are very much indebted to other religions. So, that's very psychotic. So, like, I predicted that all this was going to happen, and it did. So, here's where, here's the archive I was just showing you. The irony of Discordianism's evolution. The irony lies in the fact that Discordianism, once a movement defined by its chaotic rejection of established norms, has ultimately become a new conformist community, conforming to the very idea of nonconformity. In attempting to defy structure, it has merely constructed a new kind of orthodoxy, falling victim to the same patterns it initially sought to escape. The irony within Discordianism, rebelling only to end up conforming to a new set of nonconformist norms, illustrates bad faith as people claim they are free from conventional structures, while in truth they just replace one structure with another, thereby falling into the same pitfalls. Sarto would argue that true freedom involves continually questioning, not resting comfortably in any label or identity, even one of nonconformists. So even a nonconformist is a conformist. It's sort of like Russell's paradox. How they use AI to push far-right narratives. Using mass reporting to silence disabled voices, framing accessibility as privilege instead of a necessity, collaborating with ideological grifters who distort information to serve right-wing narratives. Their cult is right-wing. They're anti-equality, because if you're against someone that's speaking for equality, then you're by definition anti-equality. Equality. So this is an example of someone that's impersonated me. The year I stopped seeing dragons. Now this is from, let's see, do I have archives here? Arg. See, okay, so I'm gonna have to find the archive. Would be under. So let me find. Let's see. Okay, whew, found it. So let's see, creator. What happened to all my archives? Yo, did someone hack my computer? Why am I missing file? Okay, here we are. I was about to say, holy shit. Let's see here. A creator who hates his creation. So this right here, the year I stopped seeing dragons, this is an AI picture. This is an impersonation of me. This is memetic warfare. And how it almost killed me, that's a death threat. The year I stopped seeing dragons and how it almost killed me. So here we have an archive. So the dragon is a symbolism for the demiurge. See, dragon. And there's a dragon in Ready Player One. There's dragons in Split. There's dragons in the movie Lucy. And it has it's like a dragon. Now are you starting to see? So this is an archive. See, this is the demiurge. Which is a serpent like a dragon with a lion's head. So Gnostic tradition and the demiurge as a dragon. So that's what it's referencing. And then here's the lions or tigers that I talk about quite a bit. So like I've archived all my posts, like I can prove everything I've said, and I am proving it. I already have technically proven it, just people just refuse to look at it. So yeah, how I stopped seeing dragons and how it almost killed me, that's a death threat. That's a memetic death threat. So this is deplatforming. It shows that they mass reported me to get me banned. Why doesn't it? Can I open it? Let's see here. Join me for a moment of silence. And this is where they're using memetics. Upright chimpanzee. So this is a Nazi dog whistle and disability dog whistle. This shows that the Discordians are anti-LGBTQ, they're anti-DEI. He stands about 5 foot with a majestic display. And this is describing, let's see. This is the, where is it? So they're talking about height because I'm short. And it's in this one, death threats. So they used AI and then they mimic like my image. So they got a really short person with a bike. Because I own a bike and I was like riding a bike. Like it's, some of it is as a surface layer as that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream for now, and then I'll pick this up tomorrow. But at least I have evidence, and I've documented everything, and I've reported this to the FBI. Because anyone associating with them that's a part of their cult, their Nazi cult, is responsible for death threats to the FBI.